What's good, y'all? Rich Sosa back in a building with another banger. Now, first things first, before we get started today, I gotta go ahead and say thank God for another day and another opportunity. Now, as y'all can see from the looks of the title and the screen today, I got a very special build in store for y'all today, and I'm gonna be calling it the 4-way slashing playmaker build, but it's actually gonna come out to a 2-way slashing glass cleaner. Now, this build, it's really gonna remind me of Dominique Wilkins, and today we're gonna be making it out of the power forward position. But as far as when it comes down to this build as the gameplay, you can see we're able to do everything from finish, play elite defense, as well as handle the ball. But when it comes down to these animations, we're going to get pro dribble moves out of this build as well as pro contact dunks. Now, when it comes down to the breakdown of our attributes, the ones that we can reach a 100 plus for is going to be our driving dunk, ball handle, and literally every single defensive stat on this game. So yes, the interior defense, perimeter, steal off rip will be a 99, the block will be able to reach a 99, and same thing for both our offensive and defensive rebound. So I just want to say thank you to those of y'all who stopped by and showing your support. And if it's your first time coming through, be sure to hit that sub button if you're new. Smash that like button, turn on post notifications to be a part of the Rich family. And last but definitely not least, comment down TG for thank God and where you're tuning in from, and I most definitely will be sure to hit y'all back with a response. So from here, let's go ahead and get started with the creation of this build. We're going to start out by putting it under the power forward position. Now, as we get into the breakdown of the body settings, this is super important. So go with the height of 6'7". As for the weight, I'm going to go with 230 with a 7'4" wingspan. Now, the body shape and what I think is going to be best for this build is going to be built. I'm going to go ahead and move forward with this build. So the first area that I want to get into is going to be the physicals. So when it comes down to the speed, I'm going to go ahead and put this all the way up to an 83. As for when it comes down to the acceleration, you can put this to a 76. And then when it comes down to our strength, I'm going to go ahead and put this to an 82. Now, when it comes down to the vertical, I decided to go with an 83, 90 when it comes down to the stamina, and these numbers are adjustable if you wanted to go ahead and try to raise them. Now, I think these numbers right here for the physicals are perfect. Do keep in mind the +4 from your Gatorade workouts or the gym rat badge. So from here, let's get started when it comes down to the defensive end. For our rebound, I'm going to go ahead and put this all the way up to a 99. 90, as for when it comes down to the offensive end. And then as for the block, I'm going to go ahead and put this to an 87. Moving on to the steal, I'm going to go with the 99. As for the perimeter defense and interior, go ahead and put the both of these up to a 93. And we're going to be all set to move forward with a total of 34 defensive badges. Now, the ones that I like are going to be Box Out Beast, Post Lockdown, Workhorse with Anchor, Chase Down Artist, Rebound Chaser, Challenger, Glove Interceptor, and Clamps. Now, this sets us up pretty solid to get into the breakdown of the offense. Now, when it comes down to the playmaking, go with the 77 speed with ball, 89 when it comes down to our ball handle, and then as for the pass accuracy, leave this at a 76 for a total of 21 playmaking badges. Now, the ones that I'm looking at are Ankle Breaker, Mismatch Expert with Break Starter, Quick First Step, Vice Grip, Hyperdrive, and Clamp Breaker, but I'm really focused on Handles for Days and Killer Combos. Now, so far, I think we're looking pretty solid, and this makes up to be one of the best 1v1 court builds, especially on the defensive end. But with what we're able to do out of the playmaking and the finishing, I promise you, going to be one of the best slasher builds that you can possibly make. Now, when it comes down to our standing dunk, I'm going to put this to a 73, 86 when it comes down to our driving dunk, and then as for when it comes down to our layup, put this to a 78. And then as for the rest of our attributes, this is exactly what the build is going to be looking like. Now, take into consideration the +4 or 5 that you get from buying your own boost, the additional +4 from running with a teammate that has on Hall of Fame floor general. Now, the better we play, our stats are also gradually going to raise, and then you get a +10 towards 2 separate takeovers when activated. Now, just something that I did want to throw out to y'all before we get into the breakdown of these takeovers. So we get the playmaking, the lockdown, rim protecting, and glass cleaning. Now for my best interest out of this build, the first one that I would go with would be paint intimidation. I think this really helps us out on the defensive end. Then when it comes down to the second takeover, we don't have slashing, so I would consider one of the playmaking takeovers to get more out of our playmaking attributes. Or you can go ahead and pick one of the glass cleaning. Now I think box out wall or see the future takeover is going to be best. Let's go ahead and move forward to make sure that we made the build correctly together. And if you followed every single step along the way, we should be getting these 3 comparisons, and I like all 3 of them. And as y'all can see together, we were actually able to create none other than the special 4-way slashing playmaker, which I did say comes out to a 2-way glass cleaning slasher. Now thank y'all to those of you who did make it this far into the video. Let me know in the comments, did you recreate this build exactly how I brought it to y'all? Or did you make some tweaks and adjustments to your own version? Now we're just about set when it comes down to this build. Do take into consideration the boosts that I just mentioned. Add everything up and you're going to find the true potential of what this build is going to be able to do. My favorite thing is definitely going to be the defensive stats. Comment down below what's your favorite thing and attribute about this build. From here, let's get into the breakdown of the badges now. Alright, so as we get into the breakdown of the finishing, I'm going to go with Backdown Punisher on bronze, Rise Up, Silver Posterizer, Core Limitless Takeoff, Fearless Finisher, and Hall of Fame Pro Touch. Now I think we have all of the main badges equipped, needed to be effective when it comes down to getting contact dunks and also finish on the inside. As for the shooting, the only badge that I did decide to go with was going to be amped, and you can make the adjustments to get more out of this area. As for when it comes down to the playmaking, this is another special area. I'm going to go with Silver Handles for Days, Core Gold Killer Combos, Hyperdrive with Hall of Fame Quick First Step, and of course, Ankle Breaker. Now this is definitely my favorite badge out of the playmaking. It's super effective, and I'm telling y'all, it never fails to activate. Now if you want to go with the setup differently when it comes down to this area, go ahead and do so and base it off of your own playstyle. But to wrap it up when it comes down to the defensive end, we're going to be able to get Silver Anchor, Gold Chase Down Artist, Clamps with Glove, Core Interceptor, Hall of Fame Rebound Chaser, and Box Out Beast. Now this is what the build is going to be looking like. If you want to make any type of adjustment, go ahead and do it now. But I just want to say thank you to those of y'all who did make it to the very end. And as you can see with this build, we're going to be able to be dominant when it comes down to the playmaking side of things, the finishing, and of course the defense on any level. So I just want to say again, thank you God for another day and another opportunity. And if it was your first time coming through, be sure to hit that sub button if you're new, smash that like button, turn on post notifications to be a part of the Rich family, and last but definitely not least, comment down TG for thank God and where you're tuning in from, and I most definitely will be sure to hit y'all back with a response. And with all that being said though, I got one last thing to say. Rich out.